It is. Erik Syverson joins us right now, internet and e-commerce law expert from Los Angeles, where the weather is almost always perfect, except every now and then, you know, you get the June gloom, don't you, Erik? You get where it's overcast for about 6 weeks, don't you?
Maybe 8 weeks in a bad year.
Yeah, 8 weeks in, but you know, you'll take it. It's still doable. One thing that I don't understand, and I want you to explain this proposed Google tax to everybody out there that may not be aware of it. France is proposing that they tax Google for every ad click-through that originated in France. Is that correct?
That is the proposal on the table in France. You know, everyone is trying to figure out how to monetize internet traffic these days from websites like Twitter, and I suppose the French government is no different.
Is this legal? Is it illegal? International law? What law would even, you know, I guess, what jurisdiction would they have over it?
Well, that remains to be seen. Certainly the details haven't been fleshed out, and it is not law currently. But certainly one of the main problems here that might be a snag is the jurisdictional issue. The fact remains that jurisdiction in e-commerce matters is still not settled with respect to United States law or international law for that matter. So the question would remain is, where does the activity take place? Where does a taxable event take place when an internet user in France clicks upon a Google ad?
Erik, people have been trying to figure out how to do this for years now. Our economy in particular is pretty desperate. I got to believe this is coming because they're looking for ways to raise money. What would be the right way to tax transactions on the web?
Well, certainly I think you would want to focus on an actual commercial transaction, that is an actual purchase. What France is considering doing is simply taxing an internet activity. That is a click on an internet advertisement. I suppose a comparison would be charging a tax for someone viewing a television commercial. So it's certainly a new way at looking at taxing e-commerce, and again, it remains to be seen how it's implemented. I certainly foresee a lot of legal issues. One legal issue I failed to mention earlier was how is the European Union going to look at this? How is it going to be implemented? There's also an issue of when you're taxing clicks on internet advertisements, there is a real issue with regard to legitimate clicks. That is, there are robot programs out there that click on ads for a variety of nefarious reasons. You can have technical snafus like double clicks on an ad. When that would happen, Google, would they be taxed twice? You'd have to set up some sort of auditing procedure to make sure the clicks were actually legitimate clicks. So there is a lot of legal problems with this. There are a lot of technological issues, and there are some auditing problems with this.
But you got to believe that the advertisers are completely against this idea because, well, I'm just not going to click on your ad then. If I'm going to get charged, I'm not checking it out.
Well, certainly that would be a concern. It remains to be seen who will bear the cost of this tax. Will it be Google, or will it be passed along to their advertisers? Certainly there might be an incentive for folks inside of France to repeatedly click on these ads for no other reason than to drive up tax revenue within France.
Well, the other thing that I don't get about this story is they're going to use, it seems like a drop in the bucket, estimated $28 million per year. It sounds like a very small amount of money, but they're going to use it to prop up the ailing music industry?
Yeah, the justification for this seems somewhat odd. You know, France has, in the country of France, the judiciary and the lawyers have taken on Google with respect to intellectual property issues. There is a certain antipathy towards Google with respect to Google's providing access to free content. A very controversial issue in France is Google's plans to digitize literature and make it available online to some capacity for free. You know, this isn't the first time Google has run into legal issues within the country of France. One of the interesting things is whether or not other countries will take up France's lead here. Is this going to lead to some sort of internet protectionism among countries. So far, the internet has largely been unregulated. There's certainly no regulatory body in the United States, and internationally the same holds true. Are we going to start closing down ranks and fighting for territory in the internet world? That is one of the interesting aspects of this.
Eric, we got to run, but if you're an internet and e-commerce law expert, you're anticipating lots of work, I got to believe, in the coming years, months. Otherwise, one, I suppose, would not become an internet e-commerce law expert. So, hats off to you. You're going to be very busy. Erik Syverson, internet and e-commerce law expert out in L.A. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Eric. Good stuff.